Hello and welcome back to the channel. I thought I would document this as it's becoming a very common and very expensive fault with these Mark IV Mondeos. I'll show you what it is. So if you own one of these cars, I would seriously recommend you check this. As you see, I've got the screen wash pump out. And it's also got an ECU, where your BCM unit, it's your body control module. And it's got a very, very unusual fault. So obviously your screen wash motor sits in there, and that's your plug there, right? This is the new one from Ford, nearly £100 for them, believe it or not. This is the old one, and believe it or not, what happens, the chances of this happening is very, very slim on any other car. The pump fails, so naturally the pump pumps screen wash to the front and the back, and inside of here, if you look at that, it's wet. I'll go outside, see if we can get a better image. If you see the pins of the plug, you see in there how it's wet, right? So what happens is when you spray the screen wash, when you activate the pump, water goes into the plug, which plugs onto the pump. This is the electrical pins, by the way. Water leaks through like the body of the pump and up through the pins. And where I've got the light shining up here, can you see that? They're the pins of the which obviously send the power to it. You see that? Try and get a better view there. See the two little silver pins? Water is injected up into those. You won't believe this, honestly. And if you can just see above the plug, and you see the two wires? Up inside of the wiring shroud, like the outer PVC covering of the wire, it then goes, it travels, I'll cut this video out in a minute. It travels up the wire, through, into the vehicle, and into the glove box area to what you call your body control module. And then those two pins, obviously from this plug, go directly to two pins out of like hundreds on the BCM. And what it does is then leaks screen wash into the body control module, which is basically just an ECU, a big circuit board. And because screen wash itself is like an acid, it's a corrosive, it eats into the circuit board of the body control module. So this car was starting to go berserk, the electrics on it. The guy rang us up and he said, literally the car was parked up, key out and everything, and the reversing lights were like doing party flashes. They were just flickering, flashing away. When the key was out, the car was locked, all the windows were going up and down, the alarm was going off, all sorts of mental stuff going on with the car. So at first it had me confused until a few people pointed me in the direction of this. So what's happened is, obviously a body control module from Ford is cost an absolute fortune. This guy's getting a good quality second-hand module, but the problem is with the body control module, you need to program it into the car. So he's had to buy a second-hand module, ECU, then send it away along with his old one so it can be cloned to the other one, because these BCMs, they hold all the car's ECU codes, the spec of the car, whether it's a gear and this, that and the other. They've all got like special codes that need to be cloned across, so now he's got a clone ECU fitted to it. So a lot of people will just change the ECU and go, all right, that's the end of it, new body control module, finished. But you've got to obviously replace the pump, because since the pump's failed, then it would happen again. So obviously he has a brand new pump again, so you've got to then get a whole new body control module, pay to get it programmed, change the pump, pay to get the pump changed, and obviously it would be advisable to use a genuine Ford one. Normally I wouldn't. Like I said, they're 80, 90, 100 quid to do the fault properly. But what I'm going to do before I fit the new pump, I'm going to because there'll be a lot of water still left in the wires, I'm going to disconnect the plug from the BCM, because the car's only been driven down to the garage, blast some high pressure air through, hopefully so if there's any residue in, it blows it out, and then connect it all up. But there's one little thing I'm slightly disappointed with here. This is the old pump, this one. And if you look at those numbers, I'll put it alongside. I'll have to put them sideways, because if you look at the numbers, even down to that little code at the bottom, they're identical. So I'm a little bit disappointed that Ford haven't rectified this fault, and it's a very, very common fault this now. So I'm going to make actually a phone call to Ford after I've done this job, along with the invoice and everything, and find out, because just because of this screen wash pump, If you had bought everything brand new, it would have cost well over £1,000. And let's face it, a 13-plate Mondeo, you know, with a few miles on it, it's probably not worth much more than that. So, anyways, I'll show you what's going on in the glove box. I'll cut out, but I'll just keep the video short. So just remember that if you have a Mark IV Mondeo, there's no real ways of checking. Even when you unplug the plug, don't think you're going to get a floor full of water in the car. You don't. We're just talking very, very small amounts of water, but over long periods of time. And the screen wash. In fact, I know it's not a good thing to recommend, but maybe if that was plain water leaking onto the circuit board, it would have caused damage, but not corroded it as badly. So maybe if you've just got an old banger of a Mondeo and you don't want to spend the money on it, what I would strongly recommend doing, which is actually the opposite of what I would normally say, would be not to put any screen wash in. In fact, I would just put straight, especially through the summer, you'll be fine. But in the winter, that's where it gets a bit confusing, you know. But if I had one of these and I didn't want to go spending this money on it, I would just put just straight water into the screen wash, and that way at least you may stand a small percentage better chance of it not knacking the BCM. So I'll cut out and I'll come back in and show you what's actually gone on inside the car. Right, so welcome back to inside the car. I mean, you probably not believe this. So this is underneath the glove box. That unit there, that's your body control module, and that's the plug I've disconnected. There's loads of ones on it, but it's the green one. As you can see, this is the green plug here. Can you see those ones there? That one and that one. They're what obviously feed to the screen wash. And as you can see, can you see the blue residue on them? See that? Bring the light closer in. Can you see in them ones there? So the water actually comes up the inside of the copper core of the wire into that. There where the pins of that go into the body control module, which is, can you see those? Then it leaks down through those straight onto the circuit board. Then the screen wash eats into the board and totally knacks it up. So if you've got one of these cars, glove box out job, disconnect the green plug and check to see if there's any residue on it. If there is, either get the car moved, get it sold as soon as possible, or get ready to spend some money. I'm just not sure if the camera's bringing that up as well, but it's those two there, 1, 2. You see them? So what I'm going to use now is use proper electrical cleaner, one with a brush on the end, clean in there. Then once I've cleaned them, I'm going to use high pressure air and blow. I don't know if this is going to work, but since I've got it, I'll blow high pressure air through, so if there's any residue left in it, which there shouldn't be because this car stood for weeks, but months actually, and it'll blow it out the other end, fit a new pump, job done. So I'll leave that video there. I hope this is going to save some people thousands of pounds and a lot of you know, problems. So Mark IV Mondeo, remember, and if you know anybody with a Mark IV Mondeo, share this video to them and let them watch it, and it may just save them a considerable amount of money. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll try and keep these videos coming. Thanks, bye.